You wake up, you check your phone, you scroll an app, you drink coffee from a branded cup, you wear clothes made in another country, you order something online, a package shows up the next day. Every single one of those moments is business in motion. Business is not just companies and skyscrapers. It's not just Wall Street. It's not just billionaires. Business is the invisible operating system of modern life. It's the mechanism that turns ideas into products, products into revenue, and revenue into more ideas. And if you understand how business works, you understand how the modern world actually runs. So today, we're breaking down all of business, from the simplest lemonade stand to Apple, Amazon, and global supply chains. Revenue, costs, profit, marketing, scaling, operations, why most businesses fail, why a few dominate everything. No MBA fluff, no motivational nonsense, just the mechanics. Let's start with the foundation. At its core, every business in human history follows the same equation. Revenue minus costs equals profit. That's it. Strip away the branding, the hype, the mission statements, the disrupting the industry speeches, and what you're left with is math. Money in, money out. What's left over? Revenue is all the money that flows into a business from selling something. Costs are everything the business spends to make that thing exist. Profit is the difference. If there's no profit, the business doesn't survive long. It can raise investor money for a while. It can borrow. It can fake growth. But eventually, every business must prove it can generate profit, because profit is not greed. Profit is oxygen. Without it, the business suffocates. Now let's go deeper. Revenue sounds simple. You sell something, you get money. But how a business generates revenue defines almost everything about how it operates. Some businesses sell directly to consumers. That's B2C, or business to consumer. Think of Nike, Starbucks, Apple, your local gym. They sell directly to you, the individual. The decision cycle is short. You see it, you like it, you buy it. The focus here is branding, marketing, and emotional connection. Other businesses sell to other businesses. That's B2B. Think of software companies like Salesforce, cloud providers like Microsoft Azure, or manufacturers selling components to car companies. These deals are bigger. They take longer. There are contracts involved, sales teams, negotiations, procurement departments. The psychology is different. It's less impulse, more calculation. Then you have subscription businesses. Instead of convincing you to buy once, they convince you to keep paying. Netflix, Spotify, Adobe, software as a service companies. The power here is predictability. If you have 100,000 subscribers paying every month, you can forecast revenue. Investors love predictable revenue. It reduces uncertainty. There are marketplace businesses. They don't sell the product themselves, they connect buyers and sellers and take a cut. Uber doesn't own cars. Airbnb doesn't own homes. Amazon's marketplace doesn't own most of the product sold. They own the infrastructure, the platform. They make money by facilitating transactions. That's powerful because you don't carry inventory risk. There are direct-to-consumer brands that bypass retailers entirely. Instead of selling through Walmart or department stores and giving up margin, they sell through their own website. That gives them control over pricing, customer data, and profit margins. The business model you choose determines your economics. It determines your margins, your growth speed, your risks. But revenue alone tells you nothing about health. You can make $1 billion in revenue and still go bankrupt. That's where costs enter the picture. Costs come in two major categories. First, the direct costs of producing what you sell. If you sell shoes, this includes materials, manufacturing, packaging. If you sell software, it includes servers, hosting, development infrastructure. If you run a restaurant, it includes ingredients and kitchen labor. These are often called cost of goods sold. Revenue minus these direct costs gives you gross profit. This tells you how much breathing room you have before running the rest of the business. Then there are operating expenses, salaries, office rent, marketing, utilities, insurance, legal fees, software subscriptions, everything that keeps the machine running. Some of these costs are fixed. They stay the same whether you sell 1 unit or 1,000. Rent doesn't change because you had a slow week. Salaries don't vanish because sales dipped. Other costs are variable. Shipping increases when orders increase. Materials increase when production increases. If your costs rise faster than your revenue, you're in trouble. This is why margins matter more than revenue headlines. Gross margin tells you how efficient your product is. If it costs you $20 to make something and you sell it for $100, you have strong gross margins. If it costs you $80 to make something and you sell it for $100, you're playing a tight game. Operating margin tells you how well you run your overall business. Net margin tells you what's actually left after everything, including taxes and interest. Many retail businesses operate on razor-thin net margins, 2 to 5%. That means for every $100 in revenue, maybe $3 is actual profit. One mistake, one shock, one supply chain disruption, and that profit vanishes. Understanding margins is understanding business reality. Now let's talk about something that most people underestimate: marketing. You can build an incredible product. If nobody knows about it, it dies quietly. Marketing connects value to awareness. Traditionally, marketing revolves around 4 variables: what you sell, how you price it, where you sell it, and how you promote it. Product is about solving a problem or fulfilling a desire. Nobody buys a drill because they love drills. They buy a drill because they want a hole in the wall. Great businesses understand the real problem they solve. Price is psychology. Too high and people hesitate. Too low and they question quality. Pricing strategies vary. Some companies charge premium prices because brand perception allows it. Others compete on cost. Some adjust prices dynamically based on demand. Place is distribution. Are you selling in physical stores, online, through third-party marketplaces? Each distribution channel affects margins and control. Promotion is communication. Advertising, social media, content, influencers, email, word of mouth. Attention is scarce. The companies that capture attention win customers. But marketing without economics is a disaster. Which brings us to 2 of the most important metrics in modern business: customer acquisition cost and lifetime value. Customer acquisition cost is how much you spend to get one customer. If you spend $10,000 on ads and get 200 customers, your acquisition cost is $50 per customer. Lifetime value is how much revenue that customer generates over time. If they pay you $20 per month for 3 years, that's $720 in revenue. If it costs you $20 to acquire a customer who only generates $150, your business model is broken. This ratio determines whether growth is sustainable or just expensive. Now let's zoom out. Once a business works at small scale, the next challenge is scaling. Scaling means increasing revenue without costs increasing at the same rate. It means systems, processes, automation. Some companies grow organically, slowly increasing sales through marketing and reputation. Some raise venture capital to grow aggressively quickly. Investors provide capital in exchange for ownership. The company spends heavily to capture market share quickly, sometimes sacrificing profit in the short term. Some grow through acquisitions, buying competitors or complementary businesses to expand reach. Some use franchising. They replicate the model and let others operate locations under their brand. Scaling is where many businesses break, because what works for 100 customers may collapse at 100,000. Operations become critical at scale. Supply chains must be efficient. Inventory must be managed. Too much inventory ties up cash. Too little inventory means lost sales. Companies like Amazon dominate not because their website looks better, but because their logistics are world-class. Warehouses positioned strategically, data predicting demand, delivery systems optimized. Operations are invisible when they work, catastrophic when they fail. Now let's talk about why some businesses dominate entire industries. It usually comes down to 3 things: brand, economics, and network effects. Brand creates trust and pricing power. Apple can charge more because of brand. Economics creates resilience. High margins create flexibility. Low margins require precision. Network effects occur when the value of the product increases as more people use it. Social media platforms, marketplaces, payment systems. Once network effects kick in, competitors struggle to break in. Combine strong margins, brand loyalty, operational efficiency and network effects, and you get giants. Apple generates massive profit margins because it controls hardware, software, and ecosystem. Amazon dominates logistics and uses scale to squeeze costs. Software companies enjoy high margins because digital products are cheap to replicate once built. Different industries, same principles. Business is not magic. It's structured decision-making under uncertainty. You identify a problem, you design a solution, you calculate whether you can deliver that solution at a cost lower than what customers are willing to pay, you test, you adjust, you repeat. Most businesses fail not because the founders lacked passion, but because the economics didn't work. Margins too thin, customer acquisition too expensive, operations too chaotic, demand misjudged. The businesses that survive understand their numbers deeply. They know their break-even point, the number of units they must sell to cover fixed costs. They understand cash flow, because even profitable businesses can die if cash runs out. They monitor margins constantly. They adapt. At the highest level, business is the coordination of people, capital, and information to produce value efficiently. It's math, it's psychology, it's logistics, it's risk management. Whether you're running a food truck or a multinational corporation, the rules don't change. Revenue must exceed costs, customers must be acquired efficiently, operations must function reliably, growth must be managed intelligently. That's business. Once you understand this, you stop being impressed by revenue headlines. You start asking about margins, about customer acquisition costs, about retention rates, about operational leverage. Because behind every billion-dollar company is the same equation as a lemonade stand. Money in, money out, difference kept. That's the entire engine of the modern economy. And now you understand it.